biggest challenge facing public education in America is the graduation rate. There's simply too many students dropping out of school, and they're dropping out of school at an early age, and they're not coming back to school. Well, that challenge is multifaceted, so there's not one strategy, there's not one approach that's going to address the dropout rate. So the DOE is working with local school systems across the state in many ways. One is the standard curriculum, so that if you go to one school in Georgia, then you transfer to another school system in Georgia, you have the same standards. Standards is also important because of the equity issue. And with equity comes quality, and with quality comes access, and that's very important to address the dropout rate, because Georgia's overall overarching approach to improving the dropout rate is to focus on college and career readiness. And within that, you have to have rigor, so the students are ready to go to college, they're also ready to go to the work world, but also it has to be relevant. So the combination of rigor and relevancy is very important, because students will stay in school if they feel like what they're learning is relevant, and it's relevant in either going to college or it's relevant in helping them get a job. There's also several at-risk programs initiated by the state to try to keep students in school who are losing interest, but also try to recapture students who have left school and encourage them to come back into education. Well, research has shown for decades that the quality of education depends a lot on the interest in education by the community. That being specifically the interest that parents have in the education of their child really has a lot to do with the quality of education in that community. So the role of the community is vital to the improvement of student achievement. There is no separation. Public education is the community, and the community is public education. Public education is that thread that unites the social fabric of the United States. Certainly the community was in the mind of the governor and the governor's office when the application was made to Race to the Top. The community was certainly at the forefront of the discussion. It wasn't just public education in isolation from the community. And if you look at the areas that the Race to the Top focuses on, like teacher quality, well, certainly that has a lot to do with parent involvement and the expectation of parents for teachers. The data expansion that's part of Race to the Top for things such as longitudinal student data, where we can track the progress of students from pre-K through 12th grade. Certainly that has impact on the community and the family because of the information that can be used to improve education and the feedback for parents. Also the standards and the assessment, which is part of the Race to the Top. Again, that's the equity part. And parents who are involved in school will know if they learn what the standards are and the assessments are, they will know if the school is meeting the requirements and expectations based in those standards. So at every level of involvement with Race to the Top, the community is part of that. But one part of Race to the Top that probably has not received much attention but really should receive a lot of attention is the emphasis on encouraging innovation in education. And there are innovation priorities, and one of the innovation priorities at the top of the list is how to improve education at the pre-K level. Improving access, improving quality, improving the connection between pre-K and K through 12. So that's a very integral part of Race to the Top, is seeking those innovative ideas from the local level. You know, with the Family Connection Partnership, with the Georgia PTA, with the Federation of Families. There are several organizations and several ways in which families and communities are brought together in an organized way to work with schools and to improve public education. What I think all of us can do a better job of is connecting all those resources in a very thoughtful and productive way to help public education. We have to, as educators and as a public, figure out a way to improve and increase the graduation rate.